a different committee,
Okay,
another committee, not
Okay.
a different.
what's that one?
I told Mark.
All right, this is our APC meeting for the month of January. I'm gonna write on the back of this. So jump ahead real quick. Let's see who I've got. Everyone here is currently here except Tom and Denise. Denise should be here shortly. Maybe my pencil's gonna work. All right. And I think Judd obviously has lots to discuss about, but I'll let you figure out where you want to start.
So we need to do officers first. And how that's typically done is somebody would make a motion, and before it gets a second, I would ask if there are any other motions for anybody else, so we can do like one round and see who gets the most votes kind of thing. So,
Can we do a one that covers all?
sure can.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
I'd like to move that we retain our existing officers. That's my motion.
So I know,
I don't know if we have to. Do we have her?
I know you're the president, but have we identified a secretary or a?
Denise.
Denise was the secretary.
So do we have we should have a vice president. If we don't already. Would you add that to your slate of
Yes,
your nominees?
yes. I add that to my slate.
Okay, and give me who's the.
Well, I think Kyle would be a good choice.
You accept?
And
Yeah,
is
just saying.
there any other nominations out there before we put it to a vote?
Is there a second on that? Do we need a second?
So, well, I was gonna see if there's anybody else that wants to put another slate out there, so we could just take a vote on your slate and the other
Okay.
slate and see where we end up.
Okay.
But there may not be one. Okay,
Anybody else?
nominations closed. Is that a motion, Kyle?
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Second.
All right, and so now, voting on the panel, the motion to accept the only panel that we've got offered is obviously Cindy's.
Mhm.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Second.
Eric's got a second,
All in favor, right? Or
right?
do we need to vote?
Aye.
Aye.
And so 5-0 on that.
That's easy.
That's easy.
That's the easiest thing we're gonna do for the day.
Yeah. Now we're gonna move into a little meeting
Now, yeah.
territory.
Moving along.
Okay, so we've got several things, in my opinion, that we need to talk about. And so February 9th, we're going to have a meeting that's a little longer, and it's going to cover a few more things, and it'll start at 4:00. And the first thing, and maybe the easiest thing, but it'll get rid of some paper.
I'm gonna text Jillian that right now so she can get it changed on her calendar online.
This is, let's see, grab one of those and pass it around, and I'll take one for Larry. This is Evolution Homes.
There you go.
Evolution Homes bought the 3 lots on the north end of Perry Street, right before you leave town, on the west side. And what it looks like is 2 long lots and 1 short lot. And there's a map in there that shows what its current configuration is. And there's a map that they submitted that shows what they want it to be without proposing to change any lot lines, and that's not possible. So I sent Travis Lawson an email early this morning telling him there's a little more to this than just rezoning those 3 lots, because he's changed the orientation of some of the lots. So you'll see on the maps that are after the notice what we've got and what he wants.
So this is what he wants right now, the first one.
That is what he wants.
Okay.
The one that's done by a survey is what he wants. The one that we've got is kind of a picture of what we've got on the internet for Beacon. without the details of it. But what he's done is he's basically taken the short lot that was the northernmost lot and ran it all the way across the front of the other two lots to make it his triplex lot.
Oh, okay.
And then behind it will be two duplex lots.
So the triplex would be right on the street, closest to the street, right?
Yes. And I would say would look the nicest of them all, but they all seem pretty nice looking.
You liked the way they looked, you saw them, right?
Absolutely.
And the plans are in there for each one.
Does really good work.
And so who is this person?
Travis Lawson,
He's built a
Evolution Homes in
Yeah.
Lebanon.
The newest house that he's built's the one that's down there on Pike and Union. It's the blue house right on the corner,
right by the railroad
Oh.
tracks.
like where Rita Lanham
Mhm.
lives.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, kind of catty cornered.
okay, okay.
He built the house down there,
On the,
Fifth and
He
Summit, or it's not Summit, I'm sorry, Fifth and
Fifth and West, yeah.
Down
He's
Down
the
by
old-
the old triangle
yeah.
basketball court. He built
Okay.
that
Is he
two-story.
local?
Yeah.
He's a local kid, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he was. He technically resides in Lebanon, but he's from around this
Oh,
area.
okay, okay.
So
is,
they're,
okay, sorry.
they're all,
Is this the road? This is the front, this is the,
Yep,
That's
that would be
20.
Perry.
is this the road? Like when
That
you
would
turn
be
back?
Perry, and that would be the side.
Okay, that's the
Right,
section.
yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Right, Perry is right.
Yeah, okay.
Perry's the main one that would run across the front of his triplex.
I don't know what road that is.
And so the three lots, I guess the easy way to refer to the three lots, or the easiest way, is what they're currently labeled for an address. The one farthest, the big one farthest south is 1412. The one next to it is 1300, and the little one that is getting blown up into being the big one is 1302. Right before you leave town, right before you leave our boundaries. And so really he needs, in my opinion, a replat, because you can't build principal structures across lot lines. That's the problem. And it's not, I mean, it's not a deal breaker. It's not gonna change anything in his world. I'm just saying, to make this function right and to let the Fountain County Recorder know what we're doing, and I don't want anybody saying, well, we didn't make them follow the rules. This is how you follow the rules. So it's not like even an additional application. I think his application his three applications anticipate the replat. I'm saying we need to formally say we're replatting the two duplex lots and the triplex lot.
So we do that?
We're doing that as part of, not tonight, but on February 9th, as part of his application.
So the city's doing that, is doing the replat?
Right, and so and I would say at his request, because he has tacitly applied to do that with his three applications. But so all three right now are R1s, and he wants the duplexes to be R2s and the triplex to be R3, although, and we'll do it because he's asked. Technically speaking, it could be R2, but that may change, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that's set, and I'm not gonna mail you anything related to Travis Lawson's Evolution Homes, because you're holding everything that's in that packet right now. But that's what he's doing. And so what's in your packet is the cover letter, the notice, the two maps, what it is and what he wants it to be. And then three applications that are stapled together. Application number 1 is for 1214, application number 2 is for 1300, and application number 3 is for 1302, the triplex. And I tried to include his building plans on each application.
And what street did you say?
Perry.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
On out
Far,
across
far
the
under
road.
Perry, yeah.
Yeah.
Out past the Ag-4.
It's the last houses.
Yeah,
Literally
okay, got
last houses on the left.
No.
There's a
Now I
big
know
open
right
area,
here.
there's a big
in
open
the
area.
square road. Okay. So that'll be, we'll take that up on February 9th, and Denise, it's just a rezoning of the last three lots on Perry Street as you leave town going north. And what we talked about already was he kind of submitted the application, and if you look at the maps that are behind the notice, he's reoriented our lot lines to fit what he's trying to do. And he didn't ask to replat, and so we're replatting as part of his application. So the triplex will be along Perry Street. And then behind that will be two parcels, one with a duplex each. So two duplexes and one triplex.
And on the 9th, we're voting on approving this?
The replat and zone map change, I would take them part and parcel. I would say that both of those are.
Right.
So this is where all the,
Vacant lot,
like,
total vacant lot.
Those were the ones the city sold Denise here a while back to
Travis.
Travis.
2024.
oh, out on North. Prairie.
North Berry.
Okay, okay.
So
Vacant lot.
for exactly
Okay.
this reason, to develop it, so we
Yeah.
could get some tax base out of
Right.
it instead of
That's
owning and
wonderful.
mowing
And
some
it'll go
lots.
from R1 to R3 for the tri and R2 for the duplexes.
R1 to R3.
R1 to
The front one
R2,
is R2, and then the R3.
Is it gonna be rental or is it going to be for sale? Do we
I
know
don't
some
know.
rentals?
I don't know the answer to that. I would expect them to be rentals.
Okay, and, okay, so we're basically deciding whether or not to go to the R2.
That one in the front is
Well,
interesting,
R3 is
how it
up
has a
here,
garage
yeah,
right in the
because there's
front.
three
I'm
units,
interested to
and
see
then
how
these
that
will
one
just
go
be the
up.
R2s.
And it's got
Two
gravel
units.
parking lots everywhere, and I mean,
That looks.
what he's showing for parking lots, he's gonna have a lot of parking,
Mhm.
but maybe that's a plan not to mow. So,
Well, no, get some off the street. Get
Yeah,
those cars off the street. I'm tired of people parking on the sidewalk. That,
so that's just kind of letting you know, I just sent those notices out today on that, on his. That's one of the two, maybe three things that we talked about on February 9th.
this is exciting.
yeah.
The next one, I nipped in the bud perhaps too early. And so what I mean by that is we had Guillermo Claude, who owns Sustainable and Exponential Prosperity LLC or something, but anyway, he owns a lot that has a house on it that he transferred in 2024 or 25 to his LLC. And he's moving to town. He's from Miami now, or he shows a Miami address now. And it's this house that I was not making a connection that we've had some prior concern about, because it's got 3 units jammed into this 2-story house. And so he was applying to change it from, very inarticulately, because I couldn't understand his application, it needed more detail, from R1 to something, from R2 to something.
To R3.
And it's currently R2. And which is the shorthand for 2-family dwelling. Shorthand, that's not the definition of R2. R2 is a group house. It's R2 and group houses. Group houses are defined as 3 or more families in a house that's under 2.5 stories, in an R2 or an R3. So I asked for more information about his application because I was like, he doesn't need to apply for a rezoning to R3 unless he's doing something funky inside. And so he gave us, he's got 3 residences inside. It's zoned R2. It's under 2.5 stories. And so after I saw his plans, I sent an email to him without talking to the mayor first, that he didn't need to apply for rezoning. And what I think the mayor, like when I say shorthand, I think everybody thinks R2 means 2 families and R3 means 3 or more. And so we may need to dive into the zoning code and tweak our definition a bit to make it that way, because it's not that way now.
Okay.
And it would be an easy thing to change if that's it says 3 or more families. So theoretically in an R2, it would be conceivable, I think, for him to have 4, maybe 5 units jammed into this thing, because some of the units are big enough where if they divided them down, they would meet the
Which
minimum.
property is he
It's
looking
on
at?
Bond
It's,
Street.
112 Bonnet, West
Right
Line
at the
Street.
entrance to Harrison Steele's main gate on your
Go
right.
back in.
Is it the new one?
It's this one.
Okay.
Oh. yeah.
Okay.
You know what we're talking
They
about?
put an apartment upstairs.
They put, I know, the stairs look rickety.
So when you say 3 families, is that like considered 3 units or one house, 3?
There are two concepts in the zoning code, one for each of those. One is a garden apartment, which is one on top of the other on top of the other. And one is a group house, which isn't necessarily on top of another on top of another. So in the first application that we just looked at for Evolution Homes, that triplex meets one definition and not the other. And so, get to it here.
Does 3 families mean they have to have their own entry?
I'll look
Yeah,
at his plans.
I read through that after I saw Judd's email, and it's very,
Loosey-goosey?
it is, it's gray, but in my mind, and again, like Judd said, the shorthand of this is that typically when I was on the zoning board and for years, we considered R2 2 apartments,
Own entry.
own entry, and a group home was always considered something like Hope Springs, where
Right.
there's multiple families living inside the same unit. If
One
your
entry.
daughters moved in with you, you've got multiple families living in your home.
Right.
And it could be R1 or group home or R2 and group home, but everybody has their own entrance, so in this case, this place has 3 mailboxes, 3 entries, 3 electric bills, 3 of everything.
I think if they have 3 entries, to me, in my mind, that is
two.
key. Maybe that's
Yeah,
from
I
my,
think that's
and maybe
what
that's
she's
from my
bringing up.
census.
So
And there's one over here.
a group house and garden apartment definition
Hey, man.
is a building designed for or occupied by 3 or more families exclusively for dwelling not exceeding 2.5 stories. 3 or more families under 2.5, and it can be in an R2 or an R3. Then there's an apartment house, which is a building designed for or occupied by 3 or more families exclusive for dwelling purposes, 3 or more stories in height.
And that's for
Right.
R3.
That's R3 only.
Okay.
So if we were gonna try and fix that, how I would fix that is, I would say, I would either move group houses and garden apartments to R3 with apartment houses, so everything is 3 or more families in R3s.
Okay.
And I would get rid of R3, the reference to R3 in the, in the 2-family dwellings section.
If we do that, does that change anything for like what people are currently zoned?
No.
Okay.
Moving forward, though, they would be, yeah. And so this says, it's really confounding to try and figure out some of this stuff. The minimum square footage of
Which
an
we
apartment.
which we need to also fix for homes, right?
Well, we've talked about it. So in an R2 and an R3, the minimum square footage is 576. It says in one place.
Okay.
And that's
In
for
one place.
R2 or
That's for
R3?
R2 and R3. And then in another place, it says 450 square feet
You said
minimum.
576
576
and then 470.
and 450.
This also says 2 adults.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to say
So-
that it's family, it says actual occupancy of the building is 6 adults in total.
Max?
It doesn't say the word max. I'm just reading here.
But that was his intent, right? That's not code.
I'm just
So if
reading
you
my.
went
That's
back
his
to code.
Oh,
application.
this is
What he's
his,
gonna do.
this is what
Yeah,
he is saying.
So if
I
you
got
went
it,
back to
okay.
code,
Mhm.
the family is the word that's the problem,
Yeah, I'm just finding the
Yeah.
definition.
okay?
'Cause
So,
that could be a whole slew of.
so the intent, if you were to go the Y is family, if you were to go kids, mom and dad and grandparents, your intent would be, that would not be a commercial application. Everybody would agree, right?
Yeah.
But that is, by that, technically three.
So here's the definition of family.
Okay.
A group of one or more persons occupying a building and living as a single housekeeping unit. No unrelated group living as a single housekeeping unit shall consist of more than 6 persons. No unrelated group living as a single household, as a single housekeeping unit, shall consist of more than 6 persons, as distinguished from a group occupying a lodging house or hotel. Which just, we don't care who occupies a hotel.
Mhm.
You know, like, that's just gonna be whoever met there that night and got a room in that building, not in the room, but in that building. A group of one or more persons occupying a building and living as a single housekeeping unit. So what that's saying is there are 3 housekeeping units. No unrelated group living as a single housekeeping unit shall consist of more than 6 persons.
Unrelated. Does it say
6
that?
persons, no?
So 6 people, whether they're related or unrelated, in a
So
single household.
if there was room for it, there's not. If there was room for it in his application, there could be 18 people. 6 unrelated people in each unit. If there was room for it, there's not room for it.
So would we go back to say there's 2 pending issues? One issue is that an R3 or not? Second issue is rewriting the code.
He's R2 because the R2 definition right now permits exactly what he's got.
But he's got 3 meters, 3 doors.
He's got, you can have that.
You can have that as what,
He's under
Current.
2.5 stories.
So the 2
Oh.
simply means stories, not the
Could you just strike this
Did it
stories?
say
I mean,
like that?
Well, and move
That's
it, and move it all to
adequate.
3, and move it all to multifamily housing.
I would think that should be multifamily
Yeah.
housing.
I agree.
I agree on that.
I agree that we all think that, but that's not what the definition is.
So we need to fix it.
So we need to fix
Yeah,
that
and so
definition.
he's good to go, what I'm saying,
Well,
and we'll fix it.
Until it changes hands or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, I mean, that we know, and this is what we've been talking about, we're needing to do anyways with
Okay.
zoning,
Right.
with,
Mhm.
you know, and maybe after next month, we probably need to pull out our map again and really talk about, that's what we talked about at the end of the year, you know, not doing it because of the money situation and seeing where we're at, looking to see where else do we need to change zoning that's out of place.
And define it.
Yes, yes,
Because we ought to keep that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
By the thing, but we ought to keep that as an example
Example.
on how to write R3
yeah,
properly.
that makes sense. I mean, and good for him that he's tried.
so that's something that at least we're gonna be prepared to deal with next month.
Or we, and I've already told him we didn't need to change the zoning. We go ahead and move them into applying for an R3 and give it to them.
So the number's going to indicate how many units, not necessarily how many floors.
Right.
Okay.
The floors aren't significant.
So in that case, is there a reason why that property wouldn't be R3?
That's what he's.
Conflicting interests,
Yeah.
I meant.
I mean, definitionally, there's that reason. We gotta fix so you're saying after we fix the definition, or?
Well, if we just bumped them, I would agree, it's probably best if the area permits it, you should probably just put it in R3, because otherwise every future person
At that residence.
is gonna have an issue.
Right.
Like if he goes to sell it.
Mhm.
So
Still
does
need
he
to
have to
hear.
apply for an R3 change?
He was,
He
that's what
did.
that's what this
That's
is.
what that is?
Yeah.
Shot it down.
Okay, then, yeah.
Well, I don't feel like it'd be about, I mean, if we could.
I can
it's-
go back and tell them why we're doing that, because everybody thought the definition said something that it didn't say, and we're gonna make it say what people thought it should say.
And it'll be in line with what he's doing anyway, so
Yeah.
it should be a no hassle.
Is there anything over R3 that's considered conventional housing?
I mean, R3 includes apartments.
100 apartments? Okay, so.
Like, do we know what that house is on Brady that's kind of corner from where, well, kinda right behind here? That, you know, the two identical houses, one's a single home and one's now, I think, 5 apartments. What is that considered? Do we know?
Where's it
I don't know the town well enough to-
It's right on.
Oh,
Right
Yeah,
here,
right
it's
behind
right, it's right here.
Yeah, okay, so that,
On
would
the-
is there 3
Brian
apartments in there?
Kraft manages
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's 5 apartments.
That's the old Lisa place. Is it 5 now?
It
Well,
used to be
it's-
3. Is it 5?
I think it's zoned R3,
Okay.
which kind of opens the door.
Well, that's all that's really needed, is R3.
So R3 can mean however many.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So-
3 or more, right?
3 or more.
Okay.
So back
There
to
you
this
go.
guy.
Okay.
Is that property fit within its surroundings as R3?
Probably not, because that one doesn't have, I mean, there's single family homes, I would say, surrounding that particular property. And same with this though. Right?
Well, the apartment complex isn't too far down on Mound Street. It would be in that same neighborhood-ish area.
Just across the,
Just
Across
across
the
the
tracks.
thing and then down.
Yeah. So
That's true.
So I don't think that's an issue.
So if the property supports it and the area supports it, and I apologize, I don't know exactly
No,
their
no,
house.
no.
But I would say the proper thing to prevent the future would be give him an R3.
Right.
It doesn't, not going back on your word, he's moving forward with this project either way.
Yeah.
But it fixes it for future.
I think that's how it is now, and that's how it's been operating for a while.
As an R3.
All of a sudden, it must have been an insurance thing that prompted this, because some insurance he's wanting the city to write him a letter saying if he burned down, he could rebuild it as what he's got now. And I didn't know what he had now, and so I didn't feel like I should be telling anybody they can do anything.
Yeah, I think what happened there was it was originally set up to where there's 2 apartments. This guy acquired it and then all of a sudden slammed in a 3rd unit, 3 new meter bases on the outside of it. And then that's when we, kind of caught word of it.
Okay, I see. Well, let me contact him, get him set for February 9th, and tell him that the city wants it, because we're changing the definition of what you can do in an R2 and an R3.
So do we need a motion tonight to change that,
No.
or is that something we do
No,
next month?
The purpose of tonight was to elect officers, and you're still the secretary,
Okay.
and
We
to
will
talk
take those
about these
photos.
things
It's on
so that
video.
we don't have a bunch of time spent discussing them February 9th, because they take a little education.
Mhm.
So I will get him reset, and I will work on the change to make R2 2-family and R3 3 or more.
Okay, so then on February 9th, we're gonna do this, Evolution Homes.
Uh-huh.
And Attica, what was the other one?
Attica Vacation
Attica
Rentals,
Vacation
and
Rentals.
we're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
That's gonna be something else that's new, and we're gonna talk about it tonight.
tonight,
Just not to vote on it, just
You
to
only
get
got 3 minutes.
okay.
2 minutes.
Is that right? Okay, well, so Attica Vacation Rentals, 2 trailer parks want to, they're both residential, one zone suburban, one zone R3 now. And it doesn't matter for residential purposes, whether it's S or R3. But there's a type of planned unit development, something we haven't done, that is for a residential, to residentially develop an area. And it has to pass through the plan commission and pass through the council. And that's what he's going to be, Attica Vacation Rentals is going to be applying for on both sides of the track. It won't require him to have lots per se, but right now, once the west side had 18 trailers and the right side had 18 trailers. And so this would still allow him to have 18 temporary short-term
Units.
rental places.
Mhm.
Some may have garages on the east side, some may not. Like approximately half may. The roads that are there are gonna stay there. The road on the west side that we just changed the zoning to R3 has a private road inside that parcel that's parallel to the Perry.
Right.
And he may widen his side to butt up the Perry to the paved portion, which that's not controversial at all, but that's what he's applying for in February. It's a residential development plan. And there's a real short section of the code that talks about that I copied, and I'll pass that out and then we'll be done. So you can at least see what there's not a lot of.
So we can consider it before the next time.
Yeah, something to look at.
So realistically, the next meeting will be a little bit longer just because we have to vote on a couple things, but we're only, do you think just two then, not a third one for next month? Just these?
No, we'll do.
We might have the third one.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
do all three of these. And then one of these. And then one of these. This is the code section.
Thank you.
Do I need my phone?
Yes, exactly. You'll have all the actual renderings prior to the meeting. That's all good.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so next meeting, February 9th, 4 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
4:30.
Four.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, because it'll be longer this time. No, thank you. I appreciate you all. All right, RDC, oh, I gotta press the button, stop it.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? No. But that's okay.
Do we know when it'll be